computer. Welcome to Happiness on Tap podcast, where guests dive deep into their vulnerable experiences that contribute to their happiness. I'm Leanne Herron, certified health and life coach, owner of Finding Resilience with Leanne, and host of this podcast. Thank you for joining us for You Have Permission to Be Happy with Anne-Marie Lax, certified empowerment and wellness coach, award-winning singer and songwriter, and vocal powerhouse from New Mexico. This episode is part of my health and wellness series. My healing and career path has been influenced through a variety of health and mental health challenges and difficulties and traumatic life experiences. I hope that my story and the stories of our guests like Anne-Marie provide hope and strength to remind people that we can weather any storm if we have the right support. Happiness on Tap's mission is to provide value to our listeners by providing tips and tools and help people realize they are not alone while providing education and information to help them improve their daily lives, their health, cope better with life's challenges, reduce stress, and become the best, most authentic version of themselves. I met Anne-Marie through Health Coach Institute. We started at different times, but we came together for a virtual event that I hosted at my office. It has been a pleasure getting to know Anne-Marie, learning about her incredible journey through bariatric surgery, and even discovering that she worked with my father-in-law at the Bernalillo County Detention Center back in the day. Anne-Marie is almost, and I would call you a full-blown native, but almost a native of New Mexico, moving here at the age of 1 after her father retired from the Air Force. After graduating from UNM, she married her husband of 35 years. They have 2 children, a son, Ben, and a daughter, Amanda, and several fur children. Anne-Marie has had a wide range of jobs and interests over the years. She worked at the Bernalillo County Detention Center in the late 80s and 90s, holding several positions, including case manager. For a few years, she had her own business where she taught classes on how to hand make high-end teddy bears with imported fur and glass eyes from Germany. When the government decided to federalize airport security after 9/11, Anne-Marie applied to become a TSA officer. Those are the folks that make you put on your shoes at the airport. Or actually take off your shoes, not put on your shoes. Take off your shoes, then you got to put on your shoes at the airport. For almost 21 years, she held numerous titles in this agency and is currently a training instructor. Her personal life has taken several directions as well. As a young adult, she studied to become a minister and later presented Sunday lessons at her church when her minister left. Not long ago, she released an album of original songs called Dancing in the Light, available on all streaming platforms, which received several nominations from the New Mexico Awards and the POSI, correct? Award. Posse, from Empower Music and Arts for Best Video, and it is available on YouTube. In 2014, she founded the Second Saturday Community Coffee House that hosted local and touring singer-songwriters to present the best music anywhere in a listening room environment, where she served as MC for 8 years. Suffice it to say that between all the jobs and other activities, Anne-Marie has been teaching and presenting for most of her life. She has a love of knowledge, always reading at least 2 books at a time, and has taken countless classes and workshops on various passions for helping others. Wanting to combine her experience, knowledge, and passion for helping others. Oh, and I lost where I was. Oh my goodness. Man, I really lost myself. Oh, she became a certified wellness and empowerment coach. I should have known that part. After undergoing bariatric surgery herself in 2018, her passion is helping others who have had that surgery and have gained back a good portion of their weight. After losing a large portion of excess weight after surgery, she had gained half of it back during the pandemic. Realizing that the surgery would have been for nothing if she hadn't done something to get it under control, she and her friend, Gwen Brown, teamed up as accountability buddies and ultimately lost their excess weight. Congratulations. With the knowledge and experience she gained, she is now coaching others to change their mindset to achieve their goals and dreams once and for all. Welcome, Anne-Marie, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Leanne. I'm pleased to be on your podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. So if you can explain the bariatric surgery that you had, because I don't know anything about it or enough about it, and I would love to learn more from you and your experience.
Okay, sure. Well, I had a surgery that's called the vertical gastric sleeve, which is where they basically take away about 80% of your stomach. They put like 5 small holes that they put in little instruments, their cameras and their whatever, and a little bit larger hole that's where they pull out the rest of the stomach. But I don't remember. I think it took a couple of hours. There's another surgery where they call it, I think it's called the Roux-en-Y. And I didn't want that one. They basically reroute your intestines and make your stomach about this big. Some people have to resort to that for various reasons, but I'm glad I didn't have to. So
I do have some knowledge from a friend who had that surgery done. What kind of support and education did you receive after the surgery?
After the surgery, they gave me a notebook filled with like what to eat, what not to eat, which I looked at it, and a lot of it was things with artificial sweeteners, margarine. There was just stuff that didn't make sense to me that you should be eating. So I tried to follow it as best I could, and I did end up losing about 70 pounds. So it's pretty good. That wasn't where I ultimately wanted to be, but it was good. My PA said, well, that's, you only are going to lose about half of your excess weight. I'm like, well, that's not very, that's not enough. I mean, I guess if somebody weighed 300, I didn't weigh 300 pounds when I started, but if somebody did weigh 300 pounds and they lost 150 50 pounds. Or actually, no, I'm sorry. If they lost half of their excess weight, so let's say their excess weight was 100 pounds, then that would only be 50 pounds. So
yeah, that's interesting. What kind of support did you have after?
well, I would go to, I would every 3 months, and then I think it was 6 months, and then they pretty much kept it at least 6 months. I would go in for an appointment to be weighed and to talk with the PA, and she would look at my labs, and then after that I would go see the dietitian, who would tell me to eat stuff that I wasn't going to eat. So it was, I mean, I wasn't disappointed really with the support that I received. They did have a support group. I went through Loveless, and they had a support group, but I didn't go to it because I'm not really a joiner. So
Okay. So how has having the surgery affected your quality of life?
pretty significantly, I think. You had mentioned in the introduction that I had gained quite a bit back during the pandemic, and then a friend and I teamed up. I was like, not going to go down this route. Didn't go through all this to gain back all this weight, and I know that that's pretty common for bariatric patients to gain back their weight, and it really is a mindset. You just have to kind of be, I don't know if it's strong-willed, but it's, you just have to know your why. And when you remember, and you remember your why about why you did this, why you started it, I think things start to get clear. And I knew that my why, because I was a diabetic before I had the surgery. So my quality of life there is I'm not a diabetic anymore. I don't take insulin anymore. I've gone down several sizes. I've never worn a size small in my entire adult life, which I do now. So my quality of life has improved significantly. I go hiking all the time, almost every weekend. And I go to the gym. And I just feel so much better.
I really enjoy all the pictures you share on Facebook of your hikes, and I wish I lived closer to you and Gwen so I could meet up. And I mean, we live pretty close, but start joining you here and there for some of those lovely hikes.
You can join our hiking group. It's sure we'll add you to the list, and then you can know when the next one's coming up and where it is, and see if you want to join us.
I would love that and greatly appreciate it. We don't get out and hike as much as I'd like to, but we do okay. We got to go for the grand opening of a reopening of Carlitos Springs, and I'd been waiting very impatiently for that because going and hiking Carlitos Springs was something I did through my divorce, and just fell in love with the peace of hiking. I could go up there completely alone and just enjoy every minute of it and then come home.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I would love to join you guys sometime. And I know you talked about how it has improved your quality of life. And have you had any negative impacts from the surgery at all? You didn't have any complications during healing or?
No, I did not have any health complications whatsoever. I was out walking down my dirt road the day after I came home from surgery. And I had no negative consequences as far as health consequences. I would say the only negative, and I don't know, maybe it's not in a negative, but I've kind of attracted the attentions of men basically on Facebook, Instagram, and it's kind of annoying, where I've never had that issue before, but it's like I just ignore them.
Yeah, and I can teach you a way to kind of stop some of those from coming through with Instagram anyway. I did learn a hack for kind of stopping some of those creepers. Um, how about your emotional health?
Um,
Good, bad?
I I think my emotional health is way better, than it was before, because I think, um, when I think you're a food addict, and that's you just eat all the time, and I don't think my emotional health was all that well, especially during the pandemic, because you want to comfort yourself. So I mean, it's not surprising,
Mhm.
but to make yourself feel better, you eat and you drink wine, and so. But I think now that I've given up the sugar, and I mean, by the way, that's how I lost the rest of my weight, and I'm now down at my goal weight. Um, when you do that, when you give up the sugar and when you give up the flour, it's like the brain fog disappears. Um, Now, was it 100% better? No, I mean, I still take some medication for that, but it's so much better, than it was.
Thank you for sharing that. This kind of will lead into my next question, which is, what kind of self-care tools? I know you go hiking, and I know you have Gwen as an accountability buddy. But what kind of self-care tools do you use to maintain your mental and physical health on top of those things?
Well, I do go to the gym, and that kind of helps, as far as my my physical health. And again, I don't eat sugar. I don't eat flour. I eat, the meals that I do eat. I weigh them, and I only have a certain amount, and that's it. I don't snack. Um, I don't eat. The gal today brought in 2 boxes of donuts. Oh
Mm.
yeah, there's donuts in the break room. It's like, thank you. I don't eat donuts. So it's so that's kind of my how I keep my mental and emotional health in check, because it's like when you're a vegetarian and you don't eat meat. Well, I don't eat sugar and flour, and that's what keeps me stable,
Mhm.
because when you go down that rabbit hole and you start, it's it's like there's no end to it,
Mhm.
and I don't crave it anymore. It doesn't tempt me, and I'm not interested. So
You mentioned like weighing your food. I know that when I was real diligent in my weight loss, to me it was math. I could do the math. I knew exactly how much I could eat and making sure I got in all my macronutrients and my micronutrients, you know, to the calorie every day. And I just treated it like a checkbook. This is all you get. Tomorrow's another day. You'll have another balance, but today that's all you get. And it worked for me because it helped me make good choices. I could still, go out with friends once in a blue moon to a restaurant, but I would consciously make better choices. Like
yeah,
what was within my checkbook of calories that I could consume, and was it worth, having say a slice of pizza at Dion's opposed to a salad, and how I would feel the next day or the day after. Like you said, the brain fog, um, being groggy, being tired, feeling lethargic. And I knew that there was no way that slice of pizza was worth those feelings.
Yeah.
It would interrupt my sleep. It would, I mean, everything. And then luckily, I didn't wrap my head around like weight fluctuations on a scale. I got to a point where I could just put the scale away and I focused on like taking pictures of myself so that I could still be able to celebrate my wins, but in a different way, not to where I was punishing myself. And it was surprising. I could see the weight loss more than I felt like the number on a scale could tell me.
Oh, absolutely. Because your weight's going to fluctuate day to day for, for a variety of reasons. But when I'm talking about weighing my food, I don't count calories.
Mm-hmm.
I have my protein portion, I have my, vegetables portion. I know how much each should weigh and how much I'm going to get. And it's really just more than enough because I can't eat that much anyway. In fact, I had to cut down what the allotted portion of vegetables would be because I can't eat that much. And I'm perfectly satisfied. And it just gives me, it's like, your eyes are too big and then you start dishing out, more on your plate and then I can't eat it all anyway. And I don't want to accidentally, have it's not a good thing if you have a little bit too much. Some bad things happen. So I won't go into it, but it's not fun.
So this is one question, and I think I know the answer you're going to get because I have seen it from you and it's been so wonderful. But what is one thing that you really want people to know? Like, this is your platform. What do you want to share with people?
Oh, wow. I mean, how long do you have? But um, I'm a member of several bariatric groups on Facebook, and people write in all the time and they ask questions. And I'm 10 days post-op. Can I have chips now? And it's okay if I drink diet soda, and it's. And then people are like, oh, they found something cool at such and such a store, and everybody's kind of, oh, that's cool. I want to get some, and it's just eat real food, not chips, because really your body needs that nutrition, and you got your surgery to take care of your body, and your body just wants to get that nutrition, those vitamins, those minerals, that good food. If you're trying to replace that food with, some kind of substitute, and I'm going to have, Quest chips or whatever it is. I'm having, a protein shake. Well, that's great, but it has a bunch of artificial sweeteners in it. And I do protein shakes once in a while too, but I have unflavored protein, and I put like vanilla extract in it, or strawberry extract in it, or something like that, something that doesn't have sugar, and it just it just makes so much difference. But the thing is, when you start a little bit and you go down that path, you're going to keep going, because you're not telling your brain, I'm not a person that eats that anymore. Just
yeah, I can say you're 100% accurate in that statement. I've experienced it myself.
Yeah.
It was very easy. and you tell yourself when you're doing the work and you're seeing the results and you feel wonderful, I will never let myself go back to this again. I don't ever want this weight again. I remember writing it down in my journal. Um, things like I love counting my calories because for me, it was something that I could grab hold of. I was an accountant for 20 years. Math is important to me and that it made sense in my brain.
Right.
And I think I remember the first time I pulled up to a Sonic and ordered tater tots. Been the first time I'd had them in like 3 years. And that was the beginning of my demise. I can remember the day after the day after the day after, and how quickly it was, oh, I can have that. Oh, I can have that. Yeah, no. No.
See, I a food addict is always going to be a food addict. It's the same thing as being an alcoholic. There's no different. You know, if you were an alcoholic, somebody wouldn't try to push on you at a party. Oh, just take one bite. You know, just take one drink. It won't hurt you. That, you know, it's just a little bit. You know, like they do with food. It's just a little bit of cake. You know, we're having a celebration here. Just have a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And it just takes that, you know, one time, because once your taste buds get that taste again, it's like, oh, I gotta have it, you know, I need more. So it's just don't do it. Just say no.
I agree. I agree. Can you provide a couple of tips for our listeners that will just help them achieve their health and wellness goals?
Sure. Movement is so important. And it doesn't even have to be at the gym, but, you know, think about what you did as a kid. You know, did you like to bike? Did you like to, you know, play ball or something? Just movement, getting some exercise in every day, but you don't have to call it exercise if you don't want to. That's really important. Yeah, not just for the weight, but just for your like emotional and mental well-being, to do that. Like I said before, just eat real food, eat real fruit, not juice, not smoothies, real whole fruit, and good quality protein, chicken, fish, some beef. It's so important, instead of getting all your, I mean, I know that when you first start out, you can't probably, you know, eat things like that, and you need to do the shakes. Just look what's in your protein shakes. Don't put that in your body. it's just not good for you. And just love yourself, love your body. You did this for a reason, and maybe you're not where you want to be yet. But your body's counting on you to take the lead and do what's best for it.
Oh, those are beautiful. And yeah, we have to love ourselves with compassion and not judgment, and not beat ourselves up. Um, like you said, just remember why you did this. Your body needs you to lead. And that is so important. It's with all our health, our brain health, our gut health, our physical health, our mental health. Our body is doing a lot of the work, but it sure needs us to jump on board and work with it, not against it.
Exactly.
So Anne-Marie, where can people find you and follow your journey, or for, for coaching? You're a health and life coach, just like I am, and you have different experiences and different directions of the way you want to help people. So how can people find you?
I have a Facebook page, Anne-Marie Lax, and I also have an Instagram page, which is Anne_Marie MARIE _Lax, LAX. That's my Instagram handle. That's my page. And I also have my music page too, if you wanted to visit that, which is Spirit Dancer Music. And also, I have an email, which is Anne-Marie.yourhealthcoach@gmail.com.
Wow, wonderful. Thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing your story, providing wonderful tips, and also providing avenues for people to find resources that have had the surgery and don't have anyone to talk to. You are somebody that I, am referring people to, both you and Gwen, because I love your specialty and your stories, and I know you're good people, and I know you can help a lot of people.
I do want to mention our bariatric support page. So it's
Please.
on Facebook, Bariatric Living Support Group, and please join. Come on, and we're trying to grow it. And I created it when the Loveless support group, when they just totally shut down. So we have people from that group, but we will take from any group or any part of the world. Doesn't matter. Doesn't have to be in New Mexico.
Thank you for sharing that information. I know that will be helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So thank you, everyone. And if you have enjoyed this interview, please make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Finding Resilience with Leanne. Subscribe to my podcast right here, This Happiness on Tap, so that you will receive notifications of new episodes. My podcast is going to be host for coaching. So I want to speak with, coaching clients as well as other coaches, just to continue to spread our being in service to others. Make sure you check out my website, findingresiliencewithleanne.com, and subscribe to my email tribe. I'd love to have you there. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, also Finding Resilience with Leanne. So again, thank you so much, Anne-Marie. I appreciate your time and your story and for being here.
You're welcome. Thank you for asking me.
Have a great evening.